My name is Nichole Northcraft. When our son was around 12 months old, we really started to notice some differences in his behavior. Israel had words starting at around 9 months that by this point in time he had started to lose. And we started to notice that his eye contact wasn't what it should have been, and that oftentimes when we would call his name, he would not turn around to answer. And we started to have a feeling that developmentally something was wrong. And we took those concerns to our pediatrician. Israel wasn't formally diagnosed until he was 3 years old. And even though we had done a lot of research and we had a feeling that autism was going to be his diagnosis, once the neurologist actually gave us that picture of what his future could be because he was on the autism spectrum, we were absolutely devastated. We began to experience bitterness toward God, wondering why us, why our family. And my husband and I had done music ministry for many years and really felt that because we had served faithfully, that something like this wouldn't ever touch our family. But there's also the how. How could you do this to our family? How could a loving God leave us in this place of uncertainty? And it made us begin to look at God differently and really feel like he had left us. And eventually, with time, as I made the decision to turn to him and let go of my bitterness, to let go of my questioning, and just accept my son for who God created him to be, and to accept the Lord as being sovereign and gracious, my attitude really began to change. And I found that slowly but surely that anger has dissipated and has melted into a newfound love for the Lord, a desire to serve him and understand him better. We really began to see God begin to work very early on after Israel's diagnosis, as we began to meet professionals within the autism community, as we were connected to teachers and caregivers. We saw God really begin to build a network of support around us that we never expected to have. And so many of that group of people are Christian people, which is really amazing. And so we get to see God's love extended to our son through the hands of these professionals who believe in him and honor him as well. And it's a beautiful thing to watch. I feel hopeful for our family's future now. And God has really had to work on us to get us to that point. He's given us some victories lately that we know could only have come from him, and it is such a faith builder. And just like people say, God doesn't always come when you want him to, but he's never late. He is always on time, and he always provides exactly what you need, not necessarily what you wanted. And so we feel like as we move forward, if we keep turning to him, he's going to continue to provide. That even though we sometimes feel anger toward God or we're asking questions, we have found that he never leaves us and he never does forsake us. And even when we feel like he's not answering us, we are getting the sense again that he is there. Now, all I have faith in is the fact that God is sovereign and that he's good and that he has a plan. And that no matter what happens on this earth, no matter what evil circumstances come your way, he'll give us the grace to deal with it, and he'll love us all the way through to the end.